In this, we'll discuss about Apex classes. So, in Apex class, what we'll be discussing? We'll be discussing about collections. So, what is meant by collection? A collection means which is capable to hold a multiple values of same information, of same type of information. What is meant by type? How can you define like in sales, in programming, how can you define this? The type of value is this one. If I say name, what is the type that I have to be using? Type in the sense data type. Type in the sense it's a data type. Okay. Let's talk about this way. Public, public string username or email ID. How many values I can store here? abc at gmail.com. Now, how many values that I can store here? Email ID. Only one, right? Can I store multiple? No. Here I will be storing only one because I define my value as a string. But my requirement is I wanted to hold multiple values with same information of a class students of a class student. Now if I want to store a multiple information, then what will be one thing? So we need something like set of string. What is set of string talks about? Set of string means this is a string which is a data type, whatever value I am storing. Set means it will store more than one value in the same variable. Let's say student emails equal to new set of string. So what happened in this case, I can add how many student emails I wanted always. Let's say if I say student emails dot add, I can add multiple values. I can add multiple values. Student emails dot add. Okay, I need to define one thing. Let's define a class, then we'll understand. Constructor I define. Yep. Okay. We can add multiple emails of the same value. Now what happened? Now what is this add method? In collections, if we want to add a value, in collections, if we want to add a value, then you need to use a method called add method. In collections, if you want to add a value, then you need to use a method called add method. Any question in this? Okay. No, for now. What is return value in the sense? Okay. As I mentioned, what is the default specifier now? It's a private. But again, am I declared my variable inside constructor or outside constructor? Inside only, right? This is my constructor. Uh, this is my constructor, right? Where it is student email variable is having written down, which is inside constructor. Inside constructor anyway you can't have a chance to access, right? You can able to access only within the class variables. Now you can able to access this constructor, but whatever you return inside a method which is not accessible outside, you can call this constructor and this will execute automatically. Let's say even if I set here control X, if I keep in this place, now what happened? Because I didn't mention anything public. If I don't mention public, it means it's a private by default. Even if I don't mention anything, it's a private. It means that you cannot access this variable outside of a class. So if I want to add a multiple details, if you want to add a multiple details, what I can do, student emails, I can put whatever you want. How many values that I added here? How many values I added? 8, right? Now, here I'll try, we have a method called size method. We have a size method. Size method in the sense, if I say student emails dot size, now as soon as I asked you a question now, right, how many emails I added. So that for system also will say for us, system dot debug total emails number. Now, how many emails we have in this set? What will be the size for this set? Dot size. What will be the size? 8, right? But here the question goes, let's say I define one more method saying that public void, here I'll say void list mode void set mode. For now, let me define inside. It's okay to define. And same thing I do. It's instead of set, I'll be using list here. Instead of set, I'll use list. Okay. Instead of set, I'm using my list. Deploy it. For set and list, you will be having same methods, but we'll see what is the difference between list and set. Okay. But yeah, there are some rules. There is a slight differences. It's not slight. There is a big difference between set and list. After seeing an output, we'll discuss about it. Yeah, it's got deployed. Let me go here. Developer console. What's the class name that we are using here? Collection module. Open resource collection module. How can I call this method? Whether it is a non-static or a static method. How can you say this is a non-static? Okay. Whether this is a method or a constructor. Why it is a method? Why not constructor? Why it is not a constructor? Why it becomes method? Avinash, you were saying something? Constructor should be as same as class name and it should not have any return type. Okay. So here I'm using set mode and I also have a return type. So it means that they are not related. They are not related. So it means that this is a method and it is not a constructor. One second, guys, please help me out. Okay. Now let me call. If I want to call this method, how can I call this method? If I want to call my set mode, how can I call this? Yes. How to create an object? How to create an object? Your class name, object equal to new default constructor, because we didn't define any constructor here, so I am using my default constructor. Okay. Now, instead of I call manually while creating constructor itself, if I want to call, so the simple way what we can do, public, what is your class name? And I'll say string type call method. Now what I can see here, if call method equal to, this is called if statement, okay, comparison. So you can check whether I'm calling my if statement. Yeah. So in this, as soon as if call method equal to set, I need to call my set mode. Am I calling this method non-static method inside a constructor, right? Am I? I'm trying to call a non-static method inside a constructor, isn't it? So here you can write simply set mode, or you can also say this dot. You can also say this dot, because you are trying to access your non-static method from a non-static method. Then what you can do, you can also use a reference called this. Now this is talking about this object. So technically it becomes in the backend, this will be like obj dot set mode. So, but we can't access this variable right away, so we'll be using an instance reference called this. Else if, okay, call method equal to, what is our next method we have? List mode, isn't it? So here I'll be saying instead of this reference, I'll say simply this mode. It's okay to do. It's not mandatory that you need to use this keyword, but there is an option where you can also leverage this. Going forward, we'll see why it is so important that we need to represent this. For now, you can call in either ways in this particular example. While I'm calling, whether I have a default constructor, I have a no argumented, or I have an argumented constructor, which one is true? Do I have a default constructor here in the system, in this particular class? No, because as a user, I defined a constructor in this class. It means whenever I wanted to create an object, I have to use the particular constructor what is written in the class, what is available in the class as a public notations. If something is private, you can't access it again. So if it is a public or a global, if it is a constructor defined, then you have to use to create an object using that. So what I'll be doing, I'll be use set mode. Set mode. Now what happened? This method will execute automatically because call method is set mode. This is matching, so this is calling on a set mode. And what is the value that we decided here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here is the 8 values that I'm adding. What will be the outcome size? Anyone else? Any other impressions? Now, my answer is 1 here. My answer is 1. My answer is 1. Why 1? A set means a unique values. Set will not allow duplicates. Set will not allow duplicates. If you're trying to add a same value again and again, it will replace the existing value. It will not gonna add as a new item. Clear? Here my values are same, isn't it? For all the set values. Whatever I'm trying to add, the values are same, isn't it? So set will only contain a distinct values. I can say it's have a only unique values. If any value found as a duplicate, it will replace the old item with a new value. As simple as that. It will not add as a new item. So if you are trying to define something as a unique identifiers, or like if you want to define a variable to query your data or to identify number of uniqueness you have, so you can always set. Set will do this uniqueness job by default. So let's say if I added like a 1, now how many values I have in this set? How many have values I have? What will be the size of my set now? 3. It's 4. Now I added here one extra m. Now you can see. Now what will be the outcome? 4. The reason behind .com, .com m 3 1 uniqueness. So totally 4 records we have, and 4 records it got added. Let me print out these details, and let me, okay, control E. So let's do a simple, and for set list, we'll check it out. What will be the list value? List mode. So what will be the outcome here? How many values we have? How many values we have? 8 values again, isn't it? What will be the size? You are right. No other impressions. It's always 8. Because list will only adds up a value. It will never check whether it is a duplicated or it's you have a uniqueness or anything. So the other thing here important, the set, right? Whenever if I say, so you are clear with list. List allows duplicates, set will not allow duplicates. Clear? Any question? So let's say 1, I'll say 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 1, 6, 5. So now how many unique values you have in this mode? How many unique values you have? Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Totally 6 values we have, right? So we can also iterate with a for loop. Let's define a for loop. What is for loop here? For loop always goes with data type, variable name, colon, collection name. Now what is the data type here we are using? String data type, right? So I'm taking my string. What is the variable that I'll say? Index. I'll say that value. Yes, value. It means the set value. And then what is the collection name that I'm using? Student emails. Clear? So this is called for loop, nothing but a for each loop. So you need to define your data type and for loop variable and then your collection. It can be set, list, or we also have another one called map. So now let's say system dot debug set value. Now what is the yes value here? Now we'll check it out. What will be the order? Let's guess what will be the order of my output. What will be the order? What will be the first value here? If I iterate a record by record, what will be the first value? Whether it is a 0, 1, 2, 3, how the order will display? 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, but 2, 4 will not come, right? Because this is a set. Set will not allow duplicates. You understand now? Whether 2 will come, 4 will come. 4, okay. 5. Is there any other impressions we have? Any other set of outputs? Why can't we do like this? 1, 2, 3, and then we got 2. It means that 3, 2, and then we got 4, and then we got 1. So 1 means let's replace 1 with 1 and 5. Why can't we guess this way? Okay. Now, yeah, it's okay. It's okay to see output again. So this is what someone said, and we also have other variation. We need to get output either this or either this. Okay. Now I'm executing my set mode again. I'm executing my set mode. Execute. It should get 032415, 012345. But let's execute again. Okay. Now what's the output? Whatever the impression you are talking about, we got it 012345, right? Is there something else is missing? 012345. But now let me tell you one thing. There is no set will not have an order of items. Set will not have any order of elements or values. So for set, we can't define like elements will be in the same place. For set, we can't define elements will always be available from the same place. So we don't predict. You are not allowed to predict any value from a set, like what will be the order of your arrays. Let's talk about other one. If it is array, so if I would try to access something like, let's say integer, or I can say string only, string index value equal to, can I have index something like 0? What will be the output for 0? But actually set doesn't allow to do that. What it is saying, expression must be a list type, not a set type. For a set, there will be no index ordering because you never judge and you never know like what happens to a set value assignments. I mean set values. So for a system, you will not allow to get a data based on your indexes within the set. Clear? For a set, there is no mapping called set. If you want to access some element from a set, then you have to iterate through a for loop, no matter what. But when let's come back to here. Let's come back to what will be the output. What will be the output here? Here, what will be the whatever data you entered in the same order, it will display it for you. Yeah, it allow duplicates, right? So it just comes with the same output. 0, 1, 2, 3. But here it's not just that. It's not just that. You can also access data by using, let's say, string index of equal to student emails of 0. What will be the output here? Exactly. Index. Here you will be getting 0. The reason behind list does that for you. But set will not have a value accessing based on the indexes. You got it? So what is the two rules that we can remember here? Set will not allow duplicates. Set have no order. Where list allows duplicates and list have a order. Clear? Okay. So now, okay. Now let's talk about, can I convert my set to a list? Can I convert my set to a list? Is that possible? So let's talk about how to convert. Can I do simply like this list of string emails equal to, can I do this way? Is that possible to do? Direct assignment. What it is showing? Error. Illegal assignment set to list. Cool. Let me do a typecasting. This is called widening. List of string incompatible instance of set. So there is no chance that you can do a strike. But there are a ways in doing that. New declared your new list again. Declared your new list string, and you have a method called emails dot add all. You have a method called emails dot add all. Using that, what happens? You can typecast your set to a list. You can typecast your set to a list. Now you can see. Now your list of values, set of values is become your list of values. Clear? Any question in this? There is a if you want to add a single element, you need to use a method called add. If you want to add a collection into another collection, then you need to add all, which will allow to copy more than one value. Clear? Yeah. The same way, it's not just that. You can also do this way. Hey, if I want to convert my list to a set, then you can say set of string emails equal to new set of string. Now emails dot add all, and you can pass your student variables. Now what happened? You can convert either set to list or list to set. There is no but method remains same. The way you do, the way you copy values, it remains same. Clear? Okay. Any question in this? Yeah, yeah. Only values we are copying here. We are adding only values here. We are not referencing this. We are using values. Yep. So let me tell you one thing, a interesting factor here. You are clear with this, isn't it? Any question you have in this particularly? Okay. Let me. Yes, I can hear you. Yep. So now let's talk about little more. As Vamsi mentioned, like, are we copying this only values or we are referencing this student email itself? That is what I'm trying to discuss now. Okay. Now let's talk about public. Before to that anything, let me draw a diagram. I'm expecting Parag and Avinash to answer these questions. Whatever, I'll go now. Are you guys ready? We'll see. Okay, I'm in. Let's say I have an object here which will contain my student emails. Okay, I have all my student emails here. I created a new variable. Oh, sorry. I created one more variable saying that emails, right? I created one more variable emails from the existing implementation I'm talking about. And I had one variable here saying that set of string which will holding my student email information, isn't it? Which is holding my student emails, right? And I also have another variable called list, list of string, which is holding my emails. How I am getting these two emails? So what I'm doing here, I'm copying this, right? I'm accessing this method and I'm adding to a list, isn't it? I'm accessing these values and I'm assigning to a emails. Clear? Using a which method? Add, add all. Now imagine one thing. What if I do something like public void list list mode. Let's say list of string student emails equal to new list of string. Now I'll say list of string all emails equal to student emails. Now what I'm doing here, am I accessing data? I'm accessing object. Now for this example, let's do one thing. I have an object, right? I have a memory space called student emails, and I have two variables that I created. One is student emails. The other one I also created one more variable called all emails, right? That's what we did it here, isn't it? All emails. And we are pointing back again to this is reference to object. And I'm pointing this to a same memory object, right? So how many variables we have for the same memory instance? Two. Now, this is by pass by values. The one we are trying to read a value and assigning is called pass by value. What we are doing here? Pass by reference. When it is a pass by reference, what happens if I change any data here? If let's imagine that I added a new email. Let's go back here. Let's go back here. I'll add all emails dot add. I'll say one, two. Let's say I'll say what is size of student emails in this case? What is size of all emails now? Size of all emails. Oh, don't worry, this method is gone off. We are only talking about this method, Avinash. How many details we have here? One. And what is the all email size? Student emails? One. Why one? I didn't get you. By default in the sense? By default it's okay, but I'm talking about after considering the three lines, what will be the size element, size of these elements. So we are trying to add a new value in all emails. So indirectly where we are adding these two, are we adding to all emails or we are adding to a location? We are adding to a location. What is that location is called? Send email, student email. So ultimately we are adding here, right? Even if I read the size from here or here, it will go and check from the same DB. I mean frame, same object. If it is same object, then what happens? The resultant will be same, right? So either you modify here or here, it reflects in the same memory object. So when you do equal to for an object, then what happens? It will assign. Let me talk about this way. Let's say string AB, string email, student email equal to abc at gt.com, and I refer another variable saying that string email equal to student email, let's say system dot email equal to test at sfdc.com. What will be the value for a student now? What will be the value for a student? To now, let's talk about this way. So what will be the value? What will be the outcome? Okay. Why it is not test at the rate sfdc.com? Okay, cool. So yeah, you are right, but let me make more clear. Whether it is an object or a variable, guys. Whether it is an object or a variable. This student email, whether it is an object or a variable. Okay, variable. For any variables, there will be no pass by reference. What will be having? It always say pass by value. So for a variables, you will be always having a pass by value. So now here you are not providing your memory address. You are providing a value to email. That's it. If any changes to the email, email will reflect its own database. It will not reflect back to the parent one. Clear? So the way we created here, we created one object, we created one variable. So variable is not an object, so it's just like a variable. We created a two variables. While creating a second variable, I read this data, I was reading this data and I'm assigning to a this one. This is only for a first time when I declared and initialized my variable. Once initialized, this connection will be auto deleted. There will be no point of reference between the two variables. If any changes here, it will reflect only in this space. If any changes happens, it will reflect only in this particular variable. It will not reflect both ways. The reason behind the one you are referencing here is not an object, it's a variable. For an variables, there will be no, complications, or there is no complicity between data assignment. If you assign student email with abc at gt.com, a student email will be gt.com. If you assign email equal to student, then email also become abc at gt.com for the first time at this line. If I come back to line number 32, I'm modified, then the outcome of this email will be test at sfdc.com, but student is remains untouched, unchanged. Clear? For any variables, there is no concept called pass by references. When there is no pass by reference, it always talks about pass by values. But this is a collection. When I say collection, you are using new. This is in the format. If you can take a look here, class name, instance name, nothing but your object equal to new constructor, right? So now you can see this format looks like creation of object, isn't it? Yeah, it's an object. So when it is an object, then you have a concept of two things. Either pass by reference you will be having and pass by value you will be having. Clear? Let's say if I wanted to make this as now currently this is called pass by reference. If I want to make this as a pass by reference, let's say list of string emails equal to new list of string, new list of string. Now I can say emails dot add all of all emails. What happened in this case? Here I am doing pass by reference. Pass by reference. Any changes to all email will reflect in student email. But in this case, pass by value. Here in this case, whatever changes you made for emails anymore, it will not reflect in your either student email or all emails. Clear? Add all is a method which will add only the elements. It will not refer to a memory address. If you are directly assigning any object with other objects of same data type, then the memory address will be assigned. I know that it was strictly confusing. So what it is doing, so let me draw a picture. So I created one variable saying that list of string with student emails, right? This is what I created. And with a variable called student emails. Student emails. Okay, student spelling. Yep. Student email. So what is pointing? It is pointing to the memory address of list of student address. Now I created one more variable. Let's say all emails with equal to student email. It means when I say equal to, when I say equal to, now what I'm doing here, equal to I'm doing. So it means passing memory address or reference. So it means as soon as I pass my memory address, instead of passing my values, I'm passing my memory address, or you can also say that reference. So automatically this email will also point to the same memory location. Lights in a way, if I go here, even in computer, let's say, if I create a shortcut, let's say, uh, make alias, make duplicate, make alias. So this is a shortcut, isn't it? Let's say I rename this particular folder as testing and I copied this and I copy and I pasted. So let's say rename random. Otherwise, I can also say this one student email and I can say this is all emails. Now, if I click this folder, which folder will open? Will open my main folder or it will change anything else here? Data. Okay. So now, as I mentioned, like there might be their names are different, but they're pointing to the same location, right? If I click, it will open the admin folder. Even if I click student emails, it is opening my admin folder. Let's talk about this way. Copy. I made a copy of this data, or I made a copy of this data, and I pasted with the values. Let's say paste item. So I pasted. Now what happens? Now, if I made any changes to this folder, will it reflect in here? Because this is not a shortcut. This is not a reference here. This actually you copied entire folder and you kept as a new folder, right? If I made any changes in this folder, will reflect in this place or not? The main folder. No. Imagine same thing happens. The add all method will always talk about this way. Copying the exact list and recreating that list with a different memory address, different folder. Clear? Any doubts on this? Okay. Now, this is called references. Now, what happened? these values doesn't have any data here, but they are referencing to a memory address. The same thing here also doing. They are referencing to a memory location always. If any changes to this or this, but you are modifying the original object, that is called reference, pass by reference. Clear? Any clarifications needed, please? See, because right, if you being a Salesforce developer, you will always end up in working with collections. Okay, you should be more strong and you should be more knowledge. You should be having more knowledge on collections for sure. Like you have to play with collections like anything. They're just cookies for you, like while we are developing anything. So whatever development you do with Salesforce, you have to work with collections no matter what. So for that, you should be more clear on what is references and what is values. Okay, you have to be keep pay attention always whether the values are collections are being referenced to each other or they are getting created from values only copying or I mean we can say cloning, deep cloning and shallow cloning. There are different concepts, but let's forget about all things. We have, if you want to copy one list to another list, you can say add all. If you want to reference the same collection again and again, you can see pass by reference, just equal to with the same data type, nothing else. Clear?